Pond-Offs Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems anywhere in Illinois or Missouri. Guys, let me tell you about my good friends at Light Source. Light Source Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They are the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, give my friends Chaz and Holly a call. Their private practice is life-saving, and they will help you find your light.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, but just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah? What hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm here.
Yeah. And now we're starting. Now we're starting. Pond-Offs Anonymous. 34?
Episode 34. Wow, you got it.
I can't
Holy
believe it's the first
shit.
one. Season 2, episode 34. Golf today.
You played?
Yeah, we were in a tournament.
Oh.
For the electrical board. So business stuff. I played Crescent Farms, and our guest today he's a big golfer.
Yeah. I just golfed this last weekend. Didn't play well.
How'd you play today, Chris?
Scramble, so.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. They're still fucking going. It's 6.5 hour round.
Jeez.
You know, I had a hard stop so I could get out here, do this. Best 2 balls I hit today was when I stepped on a rake. I can rattle them off. TP's top 5. Sean, I learned how to take 6 strokes off my game.
Oh, yeah.
Quit playing the last hole.
You know what? That's interesting.
I usually play in the low 70s. Gets any warmer than that, I like to get out. I'm here all day, baby. Worst thing for my game, witnesses.
Are these your dads?
Yeah, all time. Yeah. Fucking rattle them off.
Bad jokes.
Yeah, this funeral we had his TP's top 5 up, and
That's funny.
Yeah, the best 2 balls I hit is the best one. I started with that. You played this weekend? Where at?
We played out in Warrenton, just a cheap course.
What's it called?
Warrenton.
I think so. The guy I was playing with was talking about. I think
like that.
Sunday.
Yeah. It's like $39.
It's like a family tournament or not? You just played?
No, we didn't play the
okay,
tournament.
okay,
so
yeah.
we teed off right before that tournament. There was a ton of people there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guy I was playing with was played in that tournament. It's like friends of the family that it's like been a family tournament for years.
Yeah,
I don't know much about it.
They do like Saturday 3-man scrambles every weekend in the summertime.
Kind of like just old school track, not.
Yeah, it's
You're gonna put it on a postcard or anything.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Crescent Farms is nice.
Never played there.
Really, it's right next to. So it's Peevely, Crescent, same road, and then Aberdeen's out there too.
Yeah, I've played Peevely.
Yeah, so it's just the next one down. What are you doing?
Adjusting some audio stuff.
I love it. We do shit on the fly, Sean.
That's right.
So you made me some cold brew.
Yeah, man. You want to try it?
I do. Can you just pour it on one of our coffee cups?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to ask, how do you drink it?
So I'm a cold brew guy. We were talking about this before we got on, but it's actually all I fucking drink now. And people think it's just cold coffee because I'm like kind of a, hipster pussy, and that's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
And it's not right. Nothing could be further from the truth. Either way, I hot coffee was my thing. Out of rehab, I drank hot coffee until dinner time, and then dinner, and then I'd have a mood crash. I'd smack my kids around. I'm just kidding. Didn't have any at the time, but I discovered cold brew. It's not because it's cold. It's because it's how it's made. It's not boiled beans. It's right. Seeped in cold water, I think. And then I think you got to have like a kegerator.
Yeah.
Pardon.
I just made this with, I just put all the grounds into some water. It's right here. Here you go.
I was going to say, I don't think you have to have a kegerator. So I make it for my wife too. I was telling you, she can't drink hot coffee anymore since her gallbladder screw up thing. I've got like a big 2-quart glass container, and it's got like a big super heavy mesh filter, and I just put the grounds in there and just fill it up. I fill it up through the grounds until it's full, and then I throw it in the fridge for like 18 hours before you can drink it, and it's good. That's
what I did. And but I don't have that, so I did cheesecloth and poured it through.
Maybe maybe the kegerator's for the nitro.
Yeah.
That's probably
So it's much more fuck that up. It's much more potent caffeine than just your regular hot brewed coffee.
By the way, this is my Stanley cup. For all these basic bitches that have their Stanley cups, this is the real deal.
It's OG.
This is the grandpa take it to work Stanley cup.
It's from the fishing days.
You've never seen the movie Toy Soldiers, have you?
No.
Have you?
I have.
Sean Astin, Rudy was in it.
Oh, funny. I gotta see it.
I guess I can't. You just fucked the whole thing up. But this is good, man. This is good. I don't think it's got the stank on it that right. Like my Trenta, and I'm also addicted to it because I'm an addict.
Yeah, it's
Trenta. I almost every day get a Trenta cold brew from Starbucks, and I'm not a Starbucks guy either. I'm really sounding like a fucking hipster. Yeah. I'm metrosexual.
Starbucks isn't hipster anymore. Now it's all corporate. So you're right in there.
No, Seven Brew is the hipster now.
Seven Brew?
Have you been to a Seven Brew?
No.
Oh, it's interesting. You pull up and it's like a party. I mean, my wife and I stopped by just because there wasn't a Starbucks on the way, because we're not Starbucks people either. We make our own coffee, but we were going to take a look at a house, and the only place was Seven Brew. So we pull up. As soon as I rolled the window down, it's like hipster rock music going on.
Nice.
And the dude comes up to ask you for the order. You can't even tell him because you can't hear it. And he's like, "What do you want?" Like, I don't even know what you guys have. You don't even have a menu.
Yeah.
And it's all crazy drinks.
You're supposed to know.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I'm more of a Goshen guy out of Edwardsville. And Long Story out of Belleville.
Love Long Story.
Long Story is our local coffee spot. And I'm waiting to hear back from
Got some cool shit going on there. So this coffee, though, you use the beans that I got from Free in Denver.
Yep.
Because they have a cafe at this church that's open 6 days of the week, 9 to 9, Recovery Hub in South Denver, trying to do something similar in St. Louis because it's so fucking inspiring. And Ryan, the lead pastor there's wife, is a coffee official title. I don't know what it is, but like has been to Ecuador, those countries that really source the beans. And she's got a bunch of different roasts that are all named after different recovery slogans. Do you remember what this one is? This is their signature roast, but whole beans that inspires wholeness. This one doesn't have a name. Some of them have like special names.
Yeah, what's the name of the coffee company? It's on the back, I think.
Wagon Coffee Roasters.
Out of Denver, right?
Yeah. So they that's the name of the cafe that is open.
WagonCoffeeRoasters.com. There's the shout out.
Yeah, there you go. And the coffee's good. So well done cold brewing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's not as strong, it's probably because I fucked up.
How long did you steep it for?
I did like 16 to 18 hours.
Not enough.
I don't think you can do it. I don't think you too much longer, and I think it gets sour.
Yeah,
it starts to taste like shit.
But does it? Are you doing it? Is it the same concept where the beans become more? I mean, this is turning into a fucking coffee show. But we're all not we're all. Two of us in the room are alcoholics, so coffee's part of the game.
Coffee's our thing.
Yeah. They say you can have a meeting. You just need two people and a cup of coffee.
That's right.
And somebody did add a whole lot of resentment. I think Eric Vineyard said
yeah, Eric Vineyard said
true. You got to throw in the resentment. But it is increasing the caffeine the way you're doing it. So it is the same concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You're not just drinking cold coffee.
No, because I ground this up like super, like, what's it called? It's not like fine. What's the opposite?
It's got to be coarse, because if it's too fine, it'll go through the filter.
Yeah.
So I do mine. Like I bought one of those fancy grinders when I started, trying to make espressos and shit. So it's a waste of time. But you turn it all the way to coarse, and that's what I do. It's chunky.
Yeah, that's what I did too. And then you just let it go in the actual water. He does it in essentially you're steeping it like in a tea bag.
Yeah.
Not in you said tea bag.
And but mine was just sitting in the water, and then you just pour the water out, and it catches in a cheesecloth. But there are more contraptions for it than that.
So this is right. I was probably a year or two out of treatment, and we were at a brunch after church, and I can be inappropriate at times. So I used to say when they would order my coffee, I'd be like, "Oh, they're like, how do you like it?" I'm like, "Oh, I like my coffee like I like my women." And I usually say hot and black. And before I could say hot and black, the waiter, he was maybe having an off day, or I'll let you be the judge. Before I could say that, he goes, "Oh, like your women?" I go, "I like my coffee like I like my women." He's like, ground up and stuffed in the freezer. Everybody at the table looked at this guy and wanted to call the police immediately. Like, this guy's a serial killer.
So this is
fucking incel.
So it's just a glass jug.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon.
Yeah,
real
it's
cheap.
like $29.99, and it's a big old glass jug and then that fine filter. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. My wife made me buy it because she, like I said, she can't do hot coffee anymore.
Yeah.
So Sean, finally getting to you. Thanks for coming out here, man.
Yeah.
Introduce our guest.
And sorry about the reschedule. I think we were scheduled on Labor Day, and it always is ambitious. Like, it's always easy to say, yeah, we'll just do Labor Day. No big deal. We got nothing going on. And then Labor Day comes around, and you're like,
man, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I even had shit to do.
So I hope we're all on the same page. So thanks for
absolutely.
Thanks for coming out and rescheduling. When Sean and I first met, I had done some work, and I knew his brother real well, Pat, and Pat knew my story for a little bit, but then nonchalantly was like, "Hey, you got to meet my brother," and then was told me about your story, and it was coincidentally at a golf tournament. He texted you, and we started texting immediately. We met for coffee, and you have why I'm excited to. I mean, I'm always excited for anybody to come on and bullshit, but you have a story that's a little that is unique in a way, because there's a lot of people out there that think and it's really dangerous that there's one type of addict or one type of alcoholic, and then they compare themselves to the Chris Pondoff of the world that was waking up drinking to his deathbed every morning. And I think yours is a little different when we talked.
I mean, I never drank during the day. I hear it all the time too, because I mean, I've listened to a lot of your podcast episodes.
Thanks, and my condolences.
Yeah. I've also, I listened to a lot of stories. I don't know. I probably don't want to say the name of the place I went, but
that's fine. Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
so I went to Centerpoint twice. The first time I heard a lot of stories, and they were all
so you went twice.
Yeah. So the first time was in May of 21.
So we weren't open yet, so
yeah. So May of 21, and it was kind of I guess you would say, what is it? My dad and everybody called me and was like, "Hey, come over to the house." Intervention. There it is. I was trying to think of the name of it.
Intervention.
But it wasn't really an intervention. I mean, I knew I had a problem. I mean, I had known I had a problem. I had a problem since I was in my teens or early 20s, I would say, when I really got heavy into drinking. But so he kind of was like, "Hey, you need to go do this." And my wife didn't really turn a complete blind eye to everything I was doing, but she fell in line and was like, "Hey, yeah, you definitely need to go." And anyway, I heard a lot of stories. My drinking was after work because, I work with family, and I knew I couldn't do that to my family. So it was just a race to get from off the clock to the gas station. And my thing was airplane bottles. And,
which is, yeah, I mean,
they used to make those for airplanes. I would like to find a way, and I don't know if I have the resources, if anybody really does, because they're fighting the system, right? There should not be the sale of airplane bottles period to the general public. They were designed for like airplanes, right?
No, that's what I was going to say. They're definitely, now they're designed for alcoholics.
But they're designed for alcoholics.
100%.
Now they got the singles, they got the double shots. When the double shots came out, I was like, oh, this is freaking awesome. I could get more one bottle.
Yeah.
You know? But I think I told you the second time I went to Centerpoint, which was in November of 21. I went
to April. Well, yeah, and I just don't want you to blow past a lot. No. So and no, but we also bullshit this in every episode, and then don't really stick to a time continuum. So I don't mean to interrupt you. I just don't want to lose. And I want you to start at the beginning, like, you know, when you were a teenager, and if, you know, how you got one brother or what?
I got two. So there's Pat and then my oldest brother, John.
Hold on, Pat, or Sean, is that close enough?
Yeah, I get a little bit closer, but otherwise, yeah. We'll work it out. It's all good.
So Pat, I'm the youngest. Okay. I got Pat in the middle and the oldest John.
And I don't think
he lives in Florida.
All right.
So you've never met him. Man, I don't really know when the problem started, but I can tell you. I mean, I was actually texting my best friend on the way here, and he was the one I was telling you. I was like, I won't say any names, I promise, about any of the stories, because he's been there for a lot of them. And honestly, I don't think it. You know, and I don't know if he necessarily knew I had a problem back in the day. We lived together for 5 or 6 years, I think, back when I was, you know, early 20s.
So out of college. Yeah.
Because I moved back here from Florida after school, and we got an apartment together, me, him, and another friend of ours. And, you know, I was buying pints.
Young professional type of lifestyle.
Yeah, three college-age kids living together, partying, and we had a bar right down the street. That was where we went every Wednesday, or every Wednesday night and Saturday night. You know, we were down there drinking, and I had a lot of bad nights, you know, just the stupid stuff. And I'm always like, oh, maybe I just drank too much. And I think I really noticed that I had an issue when I started living with my wife, and I started realizing, like, I'm not going to drink this in front of her because maybe she thinks she'll think I have a problem.
That's
kind of the
red
key
flag.
And then, you know, my buddy at one time was like, hey man, don't you think it's a problem that you hide your bottle of Jameson in the fridge and you don't tell your wife that you're out there drinking? Like, because I was a smoker too. I just recently quit about a year ago, and I'd go out there to smoke and I'd drink. And then once it got harder to hide the bottle of Jameson, that's when I switched to the
little guys.
Bottles. Yeah, they were easy to hide, and you know, and then you get to the point where I was drinking straight vodka. So I mean, I got to the point where I was buying. Walgreens would sell, instead of, because I didn't want to buy a full fifth, because you couldn't fit a full fifth in a water bottle, right?
Sure.
So I would buy the smaller. There's like a fifth of vodka, and then there's the next size down, and you buy them at Walgreens, and it was Blue Amsterdam. That was my vodka of choice. And I would pour it in a water bottle, so that way if I did, you know, need to hide it, I could just toss it in the back of my truck. And, you know, I was expecting nobody to know the difference of water and vodka, right? And you shake it, no bubbles, whatever.
So were you sipping it or
just drink? Honestly, there was no rhyme or reason to my drinking. I know when I was living alone in South City, years and years before I noticed I had a problem, I used to mark my bottles because I knew how much I could drink and then wake up the next day and still function without having a problem.
But even doing that is that's
a problem,
right?
Yeah.
Even that, but it's super fucking creative, and like you're trying to give yourself a.
I knew I could drink to the certain part of the
right, like
Jim Beam or
my
whatever,
wife's not an alcoholic. She would never need to do that, like ever.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
These weird people that aren't alcoholics, like Jeff doesn't need to mark his bottles.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to, right? If you're marking your bottles, we need to talk.
No.
Okay.
We might have a discussion.
But that is yeah. So I mean, at least, and you're like, okay, I got to get to work in the morning. I don't want to feel like dog shit, so I can't go past this Sharpie line. How many times do you go past the Sharpie line?
Many times.
Well, I was gonna say
many times.
Just a guideline.
It was like, and then the mark moved, because then the next day when I was able to function enough, I'm like, man, you know what? I think I'm okay. And you know, when I met my wife, things changed a lot. I actually stopped drinking as much.
There's an effect there.
It was just, you know, kind of a thing of like I didn't have the time because I was trying to build a relationship. And
so here's what happens. I notice this a lot. There is and I don't know if they even have a name for it, but we get it together for a little bit. We haven't fixed the problem. We haven't even addressed it or even talked about it. And I say we being alcoholics. A lot of times you can see that, like, you get this, the girl and the new, I really like this person. Even I think if somebody really studied it and unpacked the, you know, or peel back the onion, there's a dopamine effect there, because it's a whole different level of emotion. The first stage of meeting someone, we're still wearing a lot of masks. We're not fully vulnerable, fully ourselves, but it gives you enough of a buffer. You're able to reduce the intake probably,
right?
Because but eventually that wears off. If it's a long-term relationship, the mask starts shedding. Your real you comes out eventually.
Oh yeah,
and then there you are, and your alcoholism hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's interesting you bring that up, because I think a lot of people are able to do that. I don't know if this is I think it's similar, probably for different reasons. We see it with mothers that are addicted. They usually by the third trimester, there's a lot of addicted mothers that can pull it together and white knuckle it in the third trimester, and then the first 3 to 6 months after birth. There's something motherhood. I don't know. I'm not trying to mansplain shit. I'm gonna get in trouble here, but there's something about being able to pull it together. But then it is just not sustainable because you haven't done any of the work or even addressed it. So anyway, sorry for that fucking ramble. I just noticed that when you were saying when you first met her, you were able to kind of.
I don't even know if I intentionally reined it back. I think, like I said, I think it was just
circumstance,
sure. Time, trying to meet her family and get to know her and her family. And, eventually, like you said, as we were living together longer, then, the drink pours became stiffer, and then, the drunkenness came, and then, I was kind of a drink till I kind of not necessarily blacked out. People think about blackout drunk as you're getting so messed up you don't remember your name. I drank till the point where my body was like, all right, you've had enough, you can go to sleep. And towards the end, before I made my first trip to Center Point, I'd wake up at 2, 3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep through a night. And then you get the shakes real bad.
Yep.
The only way the shakes go away, as you know, is drink more, right? So that was kind of my race before I went to Center Point. Is get off work and just get that first. Or as soon as I got 1 or 2 of those airplane bottles in, that's when the shakes would go away and I could start to function. It's kind of one of those things. I would always get nervous.
You'd white knuckle it through work.
Trying to go out to dinner too. It's Friday night and the family's like, hey, let's go out to dinner. It's shit. Am I going to be eating soup? Because if I'm eating soup, that shit's not making it to my mouth because your hand's shaking so bad. So it's you had to drink just to function.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because I was not a big fan of drinking and driving. So I drank a lot at home. It was all mostly at home.
Sure.
Once I got past the college age, and that was the bar's right down the street, so we could walk home. So
South City, right?
Yeah, South City. Well, I lived in Fenton for a while,
okay,
and then we moved to South City, and down there I was just drinking it by myself. I lived by my own, so it was no big deal. I wasn't hiding it from anybody but myself.
How old were you when you checked in April of 21?
So 21, I would have been 30. Let's see, what's it? 25. So I would have been 34, 35. Okay. Just turning 35.
How, so that you said there was a pseudo or mini intervention. How bad, how did you get from hiding it a little bit from your wife to intervention? Because I imagine some things have had to.
You got
get
my family. Alcoholism obviously runs in families. It's always been a thing everybody knows. And
Keeley's Irish, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got some.
That's all you gotta say.
My cousin is a recovered alcoholic, and his dad, which is my dad's brother, and my dad kind of saw the signs. He knew from his dad. Kind of some of the things, and I think he got to a point where he was like, man, we all like to party, but you just don't know how to shut it off. And that was my thing. There's a lot of people in my family, they can drink, but you know what? They don't need to drink. Mm-hmm. The difference between them and me was I needed to drink to function.
Bingo.
Because I never really pinpointed the time in my life that I went from having good time to needing to drink. I think it's just a mental thing and that people have. And you just, once you get that and you realize it, you have to understand that you just can't drink.
You become dependent on that.
So, I don't think that there was any thing that happened in my life that was oh, you're going to be an alcoholic now because this happened to you. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, at this one time when this ex-girlfriend, dumped me, now I'm an alcoholic. I don't think that that's a thing that happens. I think it's mentally always there for an alcoholic. Sure. It's there. It's embedded in your brain chemistry, I think. But we, the mini intervention was interesting. I was actually invited over to help. My dad was moving things around, and he's like, "Hey, I need some help moving this, cabinet or whatever." I'm like, and I was always the reliable one to come help because I live so close.
Yeah.
Pat lives in Maryland Heights area, and I was right in St. Charles. So I'm like, yeah, I'll come by. And I get there, and my brother's truck's in the driveway, and that's weird. Why would he ask me to help him if my brother's here? I'm like, oh, maybe he's helping. I walk inside, and everybody's sitting at the kitchen table. All right. So we had the conversation, and I was obviously didn't want to go.
Were you defensive?
Yeah, nobody ever wants to go, right? I mean, everybody's defensive, I think, the first time. And I, begged for my last drink, but I agreed to go. I mean, it was no forced thing. It wasn't like, hey, do you go or, whatever. It was just really, hey, man, you need to get your life together. You're going to lose everything you've worked for. I mean, at this point, I was actually pretty high up in the company I worked for. I was doing good things. I was making good money, and I had got a good fiance at the time. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in my life.
Was she involved in this intervention?
No, mainly because my dad wanted to keep it family. Okay. He wanted it to be not that she wasn't family. She wasn't yet. I mean, we weren't married yet. So he kind of was like, hey, this needs to, and he was also concerned like, hey, is she still going to want to be around after this all comes to light? Because, some people don't. And, she stuck around. So, but he dropped me off at Center Point. We went to McDonald's was my last meal.
When was, when did you go to? How much time between that intervention and you checking in?
That day.
Good for you.
Yeah, there was no option. I even begged to try to go home and take a shower because as we're sitting there talking about it, I was looking up Center Point and like what they, and they're like, no shoestrings, no this, no that. And I'm like, man, I'm freaking going to prison, right? And pack your cigarettes and all this stuff. And he was like, we're going. I was like, well, can I just go? And it was not an optional thing. So I went, and it was interesting to say the least. There was one gentleman there that does they got like a teacher guy that like talks to everybody. I don't know if he's still there. Everybody called him coach or something. And I learned a lot, I think, when I was there, but I never really nobody really helped me follow up after I left. I mean, I just did a week detox, 7 days. Okay. And I left. And I tried to just do it on my own. I tried to go to AA meetings, and I was good. I think I made it.
You didn't do outpatient or anything?
No. I think I made it like 45 days-ish out before I started drinking again. And I went to the next level in drinking, but I was really good at hiding it at that point. Because I made it from, I think I was there 7 days. So it was early May. And then I didn't go back until November. That's when it came back, and everybody was like, look. And that time that was a forced. My dad was like, listen, he's like, you're going to kill yourself. You're going to lose everything that you have. So you need to make the decision. So he didn't make me go. He said, you need to make the decision. So I sat at home with the wife and we talked about it because I wanted the problem I wanted to go away, but I couldn't avoid the alcohol. I mean, there was nothing everywhere you go, everywhere you look, every television ad, every gas station.
Sure.
The gas station by my house, I couldn't even go in there without them setting out a 12-pack of Amsterdam, single shooters and a pack of cigarettes.
You're a regular.
They knew what I wanted. I mean, they didn't even know my name, but they knew what I bought. Right.
Let me ask you this. What led you to that first drink in between stints at Center Point? So when you said you made it about 45 days, what was it that made you finally have that first one?
I don't think I really even thought about that, honestly. It's one of those things that I kind of put in the past, but if I were to say knowing myself, I probably had a rough day at work. Okay. Honestly. And it's not work's fault, right?
But that first...
in my position in managing people, I probably had somebody quit on me or something happened, and I just was like, you know what? I'm fine. One drink, no big deal. And then it was literally just one. I think I bought 2 airplane bottles, and I drank one, and I threw the other one out because I was so mad at myself.
Sure, because just
weeks later, I'm
threw away
your
count, your ticker. You had 45 days using air quotes, about 45 days, and then that first drink. That's why it was always powerful for me. I wrote down the day every day for about 8 years.
So I downloaded an app, and I was looking at a lot of my pictures earlier because I'm really bad with dates and times. And I knew coming here, I didn't want to lie about dates and times. Right? I wanted to be accurate. And I found the screenshot. I had screenshotted a couple days before there's this app called Nomo, and it's like creates calendars for you.
Oh, nice.
Got one for like when I quit smoking.
Nice.
When my wife's like whole surgery thing started.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I quit drinking.
Good for you on the cigs too. That's fucking hard.
It's rough. Yeah. I waited until I was a couple years sober, because I knew I was never going to be able to do both. But I could not continue to smoke anymore. My wife hated it. Everybody, it just stinks, and it's just it's expensive.
Yeah,
it's getting crazy,
even in Missouri.
Yeah. So I walked away from that, but I had taken a screenshot of like every day was a thing. And then like once you hit like a week, you kind of like a token, like going to A, right?
Sure.
And it makes its own little badges. And I think it was like, 4.5 weeks or whatever. So I think it was somewhere close to 45 days, maybe 40 days. Yeah. And I'd thrown away everything. And at that point I just started drinking again. And it wasn't until November where.
Yeah. Once you have the first one, I mean, there's
no going back. It's just like quitting smoking. Once you quit, you can't try a cigarette. Oh, just a bad day. You can't. You have to stay true to it. You can't back down.
So you had that first one and then hit it for a couple months. Were you living with your fiance at the time?
Yeah. I think deep down inside she knew, but she was afraid of how, I don't want to say I was like a violent drunk. Like we never got in fights or anything, but I think she was afraid of how I'd react.
Sure.
Because everybody was afraid to confront me.
Fair,
including
man.
my own
That's
dad.
fucking fair.
And that's 100% fair, because I've told you about a couple people, ever since I've gotten sober, some people come to me, and then sometimes I see them and I try to talk to people, and, and it's a very defensive situation. So I can understand why she didn't want to address me. But once it kind of got brought to light, we both agreed that I was going to go, and she agreed to drive me. And I was able to get her to allow me to have a little bit more of a last drink than what my dad, was like a little sip of bourbon that he had in the counter. I told you the story. I went to the gas station. I bought 15 single airplane bottles of 99 bananas. And that's what I told you that story. I drank all of them.
I remember.
I drank all of them in probably about 30 minutes before I went to the rehab facility.
I wonder how much that equals.
It was bad.
Like
they wouldn't let me
wise.
go to a room. So when I got there, they check you in, they check your blood pressure.
Right.
Stuff. I think my blood pressure was like 180 over like 170. It was stupid high. They were about to send me to the hospital.
Yeah,
I was
going to say,
borderline heart attack.
If we've had to ambo somebody and then bring them back often.
Yeah,
I would, and you've, I'm sure, heard this. Not a whole lot of people check in sober.
No,
usually it's a last hurrah situation.
I've heard a lot of at Centerpoint too. A lot of people have died on the front steps there, trying to get the last fix. And obviously, something. Not that alcohol is not serious, because it is, but hard drugs they can kill you a little bit easier.
It's I mean, more instant. I was sharing this with somebody recently. There is, and it still exists, a stigma. There's sometimes maybe older AAers that have an attitude towards addicts that their drug of choice was heroin or fentanyl, opioids. And I'll tell you, that's it gets me going. If it wasn't for being in treatment with all of us, whether you're alcoholic or addict, with the opioid addicts, seeing what they went through, seeing what a withdrawal looked like. I mean, it made me a grateful person and know that I would be dead. And I felt like I was one of the lucky ones.
Right.
And I shared that recently with Nathaniel, who is our director of outreach, been on the pod a couple times. Fucking love him. He was like, what's funny about that? He's like, I look at these guys like heroes. He's like, I look at you, alcohol is heroic, and he's grateful that alcohol wasn't his drug of choice, because you can walk in and like we just talked about, you can go get it anywhere, and you can't just walk into a gas station and get a 6-pack of heroin, and that mutual love, man, is for real. So to your point, it's I mean it right now is so scary on what's in any drug. Because it's all getting laced with different shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, alcohol can be one of the main, you can get behind a wheel, right? Like you said earlier, not, drinking and driving can be acute. You can die of alcohol poisoning, not as quickly as on the steps. Like, I mean,
right.
I get what you're saying. I just bring it up because I was just having that conversation recently, and it's super, I don't know, it's being in treatment with, because I'm sure in Centerpoint, same. You're with everybody, and they don't separate the people that drink alcohol, and it.
Well, they didn't even, some of the violent people didn't even get separated. I mean, we had multiple fights and stuff where they had to pull people out and then move them over to their, I don't remember what they called the other side of the building.
I don't.
Where they had like, not like crazy people, but like they separated anybody that had like violent tendencies, because they had a lot of return people that came. You know, there was a couple people that were there like on their third or fourth stint in there. Not that, you know, I was any different. I had two, but, you know, it was a very interesting, because everybody has, you know, similar stories. Even the drugs, the stories of like what and why and how you do what you do and how you hide it are all pretty similar. But, you know, the alcohol, I feel it's very interesting, and why I'm so against the airplane bottles is every story of every alcoholic that was there at Center Point was the same as mine. Everybody was, you know, hiding it with airplane bottles because it's just so easy. It's so easy to purchase. It's so easy to hide. They're 99 cents. So if you're broke and you don't have any money, it's a quick, you know, you $2-3, you can find some quarters in your car. And
they're flavored.
Yeah, they're flavored.
So they go down smoother. I mean, the Fireball thing had just started when I was getting out of the game, and I wouldn't have liked it. I mean, I would shoot Goldsugar if I wanted something cinnamon.
That's what
and that'd fuck you up. But I also, you know, was the first thing that kind of came out that became a popular shot when I was tending bar and drinking, and I didn't love it, but it was American Honey.
Yeah.
That honey flavored whiskey. Yeah. So they started softening it up so you could shoot it.
Yep.
Right.
And then you get the like you said, we call them airplane bottles. There's, I mean, fuck, 9 times out of 10, by the time someone checks in here, they go through the Fireball airplane shots. Soccer moms are taking them to fucking sporting weekends.
You go to a fucking gas station, and so the gas station, I don't go much anymore because I don't smoke anymore either. There's really no need to go to the gas station
to get gas.
I get
my Diet Coke and my Bear Bells.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I go to Costco for the 30 packs of Diet Coke. I drink so much of this shit.
Right, so. Is that your thing?
I mean, if I could have a Diet Coke dispenser in my house that I'm working on right now, I would have it for sure, because it's just so I was Coke at first when I got out of the second. So when I actually got sober, I needed to have something strong, right? It's that, like, for an alcoholic, I feel like it's the kick. And Coke was my thing. Regular red can Coke.
Coca-Cola.
And I gained, not cocaine, sorry. I gained probably 40 pounds.
I bet.
After I quit drinking, because I started drinking red can Coke, is what my dad always, he's like, "You're drinking that red can Coke?" Like, yeah. He's like, "That shit's going to kill you. Look at all the sugar."
That's the Budweiser of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's the full-bodied, you know.
You're going to hurt yourself.
I'm going to tell you that I've gone through this a couple times. Even when I was drinking, I would be big Diet Coke. I got one in front of me now. And then I would stop, swear off soda, because I'm a club soda guy, really.
Yeah.
Restaurants or even at home, LaCroix, or the Schnucks flavored sparkling waters. But there was we went through a big business divestment and shit, beginning of the year, Q4, Q1. And what got me through, because it was very stressful, what got me through it was a Diet Coke from the BP up the street from my house. So I'm back to the diet. Now I'm back addicted to my Diet Coke, but I don't like it out of cans. It's got to be a fountain.
Oh, see, I'm backwards. I got it. It's so I will only get it at a store if they have it in cans, because it tastes different out of a bottle.
Sure.
And it goes flat out of the bottle.
I
just
agree.
As quick.
That was sitting in my car, and I just got, because I had already, but I like the fountain.
Yeah.
And then, the bottles do kind of suck. But
the only fountain Diet Coke that's really good is McDonald's.
Very good. It's the ice.
Special, it's something with the ice. It's crazy.
Comes out cold.
And I don't even like fast food anymore. I quit eating fat. Like I had to get rid of fast food.
Is that on your No-Mo app?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Nice. You didn't do that.
On there, no.
But I'm on the Diet Coke kick now, so I'm with you on that. Even though I think it's probably equally as bad for us as regular Coke, but fuck, I mean, we could have worse vices, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm not fucking banging the caterer from the wedding that I was at because I had too many Diet Cokes.
So I think the interesting part, and I don't know, maybe I'm jumping forward.
You're good.
The second stint I actually followed, to Center Point was in November, and I actually followed through with some outpatient stuff, but it was weird because I went in 21 both times, but I strictly remember the first time in May, there was no mask required. We weren't wearing masks. We weren't like social distancing or doing anything like that. But the second time, I can't remember if maybe there was like another COVID outbreak at the end of the year, but they were really strict on the mask, and they would not. It took me 3 days to get my cigarettes from the check-in. So I was bumming cigarettes from people, and nobody had what I liked, and it was a rough ride, the second stint. And the second stint, was not very good for me. I got out, I did the virtual meetings with them.
Yeah.
And I think what really pissed me off about the people that worked with their outpatient center was there was a guy, and I don't know, maybe he's the reason why I'm sober. I don't even know. Maybe I'm mad at him for no reason. Maybe I should like him. He told me in a video call when I came clean that I had had a drink. He told me that I needed to stop what I was doing, get in my car, and go check back into Center Point. And I told him I'm absolutely not going to do that because it didn't work the first 2 fucking times. How's it going to work on the third time? Because here I am telling you right now after a second stint of going there that I'm not sober and nothing's helped. And I'm even doing your outpatient treatment stuff. So I was like, I've gone to meetings, I've tried, and the guys at the meetings, and I only went to 2 meetings, same place. I didn't try others because I just felt like they'd all be the same. And everybody, some people do meetings, some people don't. My cousin was an anti-meeting guy. He said he tried like over 150 different meetings and none of them worked for him, like to kind of get the message through. And, they were just treated me like, I felt not wanted there because I'm not super religious. I know that you are, and I'm religious, but I'm not. Fuck, I'm not like
I just got.
Chris is the.
I'm not super religious, am I?
But
out of all of us here, you are.
So anyway,
I mean, I guess I'm starting a church.
Yeah,
but
it's for not super religious freak shows.
Not super religious. There you go. But they wanted the readings and stuff was like my thing. I wasn't big on like public reading, and they tried to make me read right there, and I was like, man, I just kind of wanted to see what this is about, and they kind of forced it on me, so that didn't help. And I was on this call after I slipped up after that meeting, and I drank, and he's like, you don't go, then you're gonna kill yourself, and you're never gonna get sober. And I took that as a challenge. And it's interesting because my story where I think it's different is I did not get sober from a treatment facility. I did not get sober from AA meetings. I got sober by knowing that like I was going to fucking lose everything. So I went on Amazon and I bought 2 breathalyzers, one for my house and one for my car. And I think I told you this story.
Of course. Yeah.
My wife breathalyzed me every night in order to get in bed.
You asked her to do this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in order for me to go to bed at night and to not lose my fiance and everything that I fucking work for, I had to blow zeros. Not like 002. Right. It was 000. If it didn't read zeros across the board, we were gonna have a fucking problem. So, and then I kept one in my car, and I talked to a couple coworkers, and I said, listen, you call me anytime, day or night, during the day, obviously because it's during work hours, and I'll FaceTime you, and I'll do a breathalyzer right in front of you on FaceTime. And knowing that I could not drink, there wasn't a time because I was during the day at work or at home. There's no way that I could physically fucking drink anything and blow zeros like that. There's no way. And that's the only thing that got me sober. I did that for 8 months before I was allowed to not have to do it per like my wife and I's agreement.
Sure.
And at that point I was 8 months sober. I was living a different life. I felt a lot better. Month 6, I think, is where it really kicks in on how much different you feel about yourself and your body. Just like being able to like sleep again. Because I had to take sleeping pills just to sleep for the first few months. Of
course,
you can't fucking sleep. I mean, it's the worst.
I took trazodone for 6 straight months is the only way. And then I started getting real bad. I just stopped about 2 years ago.
Oh, it was bad. The something about the trazodone gave me really bad tingly hands.
Really?
And like I looked it up. It was something to do with like the half-life of it really burns off and it makes your hands tingle. So I was like, I got to stop that shit.
Interesting. But I know it's got trazodone has a antidepressant, it also helps with depression and anxiety a little bit. It's like a secondary effect of it. Yeah. So I went from 100. I mean, I took 100 milligrams a night for. It was always a funny joke when they gave it to me in rehab, and I just kept it because it helped me fucking sleep for real. And
it knocks you out.
It's a non-narco, so it's I recommend it to people all the time. When I took one though, it was lights out in 30 minutes, and if you drove a fucking Mack truck through my house, I wouldn't wake up for it. Yeah. So my sister, when she was home from college, because I lived in the same kind of townhouse complex as my mother. And if she was going out and needed, just in case needed a sober ride, or got in a situation and if she knew she was going to get real sideways, she's like, "Don't take your pill tonight," because there's no fucking way I'm answering the phone. And it's a family joke. But eventually, I was like, I want to bounce out of bed in the morning, and I was wondering if that was, keeping me from doing that. So I'd cut them in half. I'd take 50. Then I was quartering them, even got a pill cutter for it. Felt like I was back in the cocaine dealing business, and but it's my trazodone. I just wasn't grounded in powder yet. But I went to 25s, and then I stopped, and I think I sleep fine. I do wonder if I'm thinking now out loud about the anxiety, depression stuff. I mean, it's been a year or so.
Well, they put me on at Centerpoint. They put me on propranolol and trazodone and a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
I
for detox meds.
Well, the detox meds was something strong. I don't remember what it was. I was so fucked up. Probably I was only there for 7 days. The first 3-4 days of it, I don't even freaking remember.
Librium, possibly.
I think it was. That's it. Yeah. That's what I was on. And it honestly, I felt like I was pretty on
zombies
cloud 9.
Young. Yeah,
I was on cloud 9 for the first couple days.
Well, it's better than it's to keep you, because it can be pretty, especially if you went in with 25 fucking bananas or whatever. And
that's
the fuck
why my cousin, he was the one that not made me, but he strongly suggested not trying to figure out how to get sober on my own. Because originally, when the problem first came out, before even the first trips, was conversations with him and how he went to a 30-day treatment center he's up in Chicago. And he said, man, he's like, if you're drinking as much as you're saying you drink, it's going to be dangerous for you to not. You need to go to a treatment facility. And now, and it's funny because at work, before all that, we did like all these weight loss contests between me and the upper management. And a lot of stuff we would check was like blood pressure, because all of us upper management were always high blood pressure, and I was always super, super high, and everybody was concerned about it. So I'd gone to doctors for my anxiety problems and my blood pressure and the this and the that. I don't take any medicine anymore. I don't take blood pressure medicine. I don't take anxiety medicine. I take nothing. I'm 100% no cigarettes, no booze, no nothing. I got off all of my medication. I spent all of my life trying to find out why I had anxiety, why I couldn't fix my anxiety, why I was high blood pressure when I'm not fat or overweight or drinking anymore or any of that stuff. It was all the booze.
Absolutely.
Every bit of it. And it's funny because the people that I've talked to that are trying to fix their life with their drinking problems have the same issues. And I'm like, guys, you're chasing pills, and these doctors aren't telling you what really is wrong with you, because you're fucking lying.
You're lying to them.
Because
right.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, how many drinks do you have? I'm like,
it's like Instagram
maybe
therapy.
1 or 2 a week. But really it's,
no, you're full of shit.
And I'm a fucking liar. So, I can't even tell you how many doctors I went. I tried this
because the doctor could tell you to stop drinking.
Yeah. And I didn't want him to tell me that. Right. So that was my thing. I don't drink that much. It's just, I'm trying to figure out my anxiety. Let's try this pill. Let's try Wellbutrin. Let's try all of it. None of it fucking worked.
Because I didn't have
anxiety.
Don't mix with alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, it was
for full effect.
And I did.
Right. Of course you did. I did the same thing.
So
yeah,
it's crazy because if I'd have known that long time ago, I'd have probably figured out a way quicker to quit drinking, because it's just I can't tell how much money and time I've wasted in doctors and pills and stuff for nothing.
How so you did another 7 days on the second time.
Yeah.
You did detox and didn't do residential. And then but you did some meetings. So you said you were doing some outpatient stuff.
Yeah.
Like group therapies virtually.
Yeah. I made it 31 days the second time.
Before your next drink.
Yeah. 31 days. I was, and then I drank, and then I got on that meeting. The dude told me to check into Centerpoint, and I basically told him, fuck you, and closed my laptop and got off. And I drank for a few weeks, and then on Christmas Eve, 12/24/21, that's when I getting ready to go to Christmas parties and stuff with her family, my family, and we had talked about it because she could tell at this point she wasn't going to back down, and she was like, you're going to fucking go back, or we got to figure this out. And that's when I came up with, and we came up with the breathalyzer plan, and that's when I started it. And never went back. And that was the day.
Christmas Eve. That's
so we get to celebrate now. So every Christmas Eve, not only is it Christmas Eve, we go to dinner and kind of celebrate the year anniversary each year. And the first year was exciting because it was the first time I'd ever really felt accomplished in something in a while,
for real,
other than just work, And so we went out to, I don't know how familiar you are with Olive area, Creve Coeur area. We went to a little Italian place called Il Balago.
Yeah.
it's
right by Hubbard. Yeah,
it's right next to Hubbard. Yeah, so it came recommended.
They're actually really good.
Yeah, my parents are friends with the Kiowskis.
Okay, cool.
So he used to go there all the time, and they recommended it. We went there and had great dinner and just kind of whatever.
Very good.
Got a cool little. I got this. My mom and dad gave me this necklace that I wear every day, and it's got my sober date on it, and it's my saying is the one day at a time.
You got it. Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's
good.
It's like
we got to give him a sticker.
Got to take our stickers. One day at a time stickers.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So I, a couple things you hit on, because I deal, I wouldn't tell you what the guy told you. I would, but I do tell people, and you said this earlier, and maybe your cousin tried out 100 different meetings. Like, you're going to walk into rooms, meetings, groups, whatever your program is, and run into all kinds of different opinions and some assholes, some great people. And what I see that, and not necessarily obviously in your story, because you've been successful, but I see where I start getting yellow, maybe to the, not maybe all the right away red flag, let's call it orange, is when somebody's like, fuck that. Because first thing I hear is, I'm done trying, I'm done listening. Like,
right.
When you go to a meeting, or I got pissed off. I got fucking an old timer told me that I wasn't a real alcoholic because I could go to Fridays, a tavern I grew up at, not TGI Fridays. I talked about it 100 times, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, go ask the people that I burned bridges with that if I was a real alcoholic or not. And I was kind of like, so I felt like you felt when this,
right.
And I was, it fired me up a little bit. He was probably one of a few people I wanted to prove wrong, which does motivate us a little bit. But I didn't stop working my program or going back to different things, because that's, I think, the whole fight is the whole active recovery is, yes, I'm doing virtual meetings. I'm going to those meetings. I didn't like that. So I tried a different one. And then you finally got to a point where you brought in your most trusted circle and laid out a pretty big accountability. I mean, there's some people, a lot of people get sober a whole different bunch of ways. And yours, I think, is unique. But it's similar to the people that choose to be on antabuse, which is the medicine that makes you violently puke if you even sniff the fuck out of alcohol. Because
I tried. They put me on naltrexone for a while.
So naltrexone, I was on naltrexone.
I Googled how long the half-life was on it, so I figured out when I could stop taking it and how quickly I could start drinking again. Because it's an alcoholic thing, man. You got to figure your way out, right? So
it's an addict thing, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, addict. Yeah.
So, well, to your point, you could have been Vivitrol's a shot in the ass, and that's 28 days. You're not going to be able.
That's why I didn't do it, because I couldn't get off.
Right?
Of it.
Yeah. So there you go. Like, so. It took some guy to piss you off to finally say, I'm done. But by you setting up these breathalyzers and putting all this accountability on you was the same way that I know some alcoholics, the only way they can do it is by taking antabuse, which is the one that makes you violently ill if you drink. I mean, that's fucking cards on the table. Like, I hate puking. Hate it. Like, I'm a big fucking crybaby. You want to think I'm super Christian super freak, you should see me when I'm puking. I'm begging.
It's the worst.
It's fucking awful. And I'm violent. I'm a violent puker. My fucking organs are coming out, I feel like, when I'm puking. Hate it. Don't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't make it stick the first time on naltrexone, which is anti-craving, and then I got off of naltrexone because after a year being on it, I wanted to, with my quote unquote team, board of directors that I call them, supervision, because I didn't want to get in a car accident and go to saw my leg off, put a pain pill in me and it not work. And I feel I'm cutting my leg off. So that always scared the shit out of me about naltrexone because it's an opioid blocker. Well, I want a fucking opioid if I'm going to get my leg sawed off.
Right. Yeah.
So, not to be dramatic, but for real. So, I got off naltrexone. If that didn't work, I was going to do the antabuse thing because I, to your point, I wanted to stop so bad. I did not want to drink again. I did not want to go back to the chaos of what my life had become the last 2 years after my old man died and living in fucking a shithole house in Belleville and waking up to what looked like watered down coffee, which was my whiskey drink that I passed out next to, throwing an ice cube in it and getting back at it because I couldn't pour that down the drain.
Absolutely not.
So I would just start, that would be my morning coffee. So that was good, but you're your breathalyzers within your wife's accountability and your coworkers' accountability. I mean, that's putting your fucking cards on the table.
Well, and I was afraid to keep taking the naltrexone and I guess I skipped a part of the story. The second time that I went, they actually treated me a little bit better as far as like checking me out. Mainly maybe because I came in so drunk. No, during. Okay. They ran a lot of liver function tests, and I mean they said cirrhosis is not just in your cards. It's like
it's here almost.
It's here.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you don't stop drinking this time, you're not going to be able to come back from it. She's like, your liver functions are so fucked up. Like you got to figure this out. So that was a shocker for me too. And I'm a WebMD Google search. Now it's all on ChatGPT.
Right.
I was looking up.
You can be a lawyer now on ChatGPT.
Yeah,
But you're telling me earlier.
Talk about I was looking up what naltrexone, how it's processed through the body, and it's just processed through the liver. And I was just so concerned from that conversation that that was also part of my excuse, right? Because as an alcoholic or an addict, you got to find an excuse to not do the program.
Bingo.
And naltrexone
and
was
the only
program.
person you're lying to yourself is yourself.
Yeah. So
right?
I was like, I'm not going to take it because it's bad for my liver, and they told me I'm going to die if I don't fix that. So I'm just not going to take it. And it was just all ways for me to avoid it.
99 bananas or whatever.
Absolutely better than 99 bananas. I think that pill has got nothing to do with that. But yeah, that's why I stopped taking the naltrexone too. That it was my other thing.
Anytime somebody told me about their liver going, I think of Megan. Megan Weir. It's been on a couple times, and I mean, she was gonna die in the hospital. She was as yellow as could be.
I think I heard one of her podcasts. I've got a friend right now that's in the hospital. An ex-coworker that is now, I think every other week I see a Facebook post, and I don't talk to him much, but I try to message him and just send him words of encouragement. He's going through a pretty bad battle trying to get sober. I think he's 8 months sober, but I think he made it past my point, and he's now getting a lot of dialysis and just stuff to try to fix his liver because it's so bad, and it's a rough road. And that was the other thing my dad told me. He said, man, I watched my dad die from being an alcoholic, and you drown in your own bodily fluid. Bro. He's like, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. He's like, I don't wish it. I'm my worst enemy.
Right.
And he was so afraid for me for that because I think he saw how much I was drinking. And that was the other thing he told me. And that scares the shit out of me. And it scares the shit out of me for everybody I see out there drinking. And I go to the gas station, I see people buying these airplane bottles, and you can tell when someone's an alcoholic versus someone that's just buying, some drinks. The airplane bottles are the sign, man. This is not a good thing.
I'm not going to say 100% of people that are drinking airplane bottles are alcoholics, but I'm going to say
a good majority.
I was going to say 99, but
99
we'll just stick with, we'll say good.
It seems to me that that's people use it as another way to lie to themselves, right? Because it doesn't seem like they're drinking that much.
How many times, and you being, a civilian,
non-alcoholic who does still drink from time to time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but how many times on this podcast have you heard people, it's these fucking airplane shots to his point. This is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've always thought in my head, but you're the first person that's like, you got a cause, man. You're like wanting to get these off the fucking shelves. And I mean, it's like the tobacco companies. Joe Camel, they got shut down because they were marketing to kids, which is, I think, going to be the next domino to fall. There is going to be the vape companies. Like,
yeah, you got to. It's so
watermelon flavored vapes you're not marketing to the 60-year-old that smokes 2 packs of Marlboro Reds a day. That's for fucking teenagers, and you know what I mean. And they're marketing it towards kids.
I had employees come in. I got one that works at my main location where my office is. Never smoked a cigarette in his life, and he vaped when he came and started. He doesn't anymore. Says the hardest thing he's ever quit. Now he's only 22, so he's never really quit a whole lot. I mean, he wasn't an alcoholic or anything, so I don't know if I really believe that. But
I can imagine
he got into it because of the flavors.
Right?
Like, get out of here. Who?
Yeah, as probably a kid.
And the nicotine that you get from those is way worse than from cigarettes.
I bet it is hard to fucking quit.
And I guarantee you it's hard as shit to quit. And this is the one thing I've thought about over the years. And then I heard about your podcast with my brother, and I really respect what you guys are doing with just trying to get messages out there from whether it's drugs or alcohol or just the message, just conversation. Anybody could hear a conversation and maybe trigger something. And
100%.
My biggest thing about the airplane bottles is just like I'm sure somebody's tried, but it kills me that it's allowed to be for sale to the public like that. If you're drinking, why do you need to buy an airplane bottle? If you're the average consumer, are you really going and buying an airplane bottle to go to the party? Are you really only drinking 3 shots of vodka, so you're buying 3 airplane bottles?
I would bet Ashley's never once bought an airplane bottle of
they're buying
alcohol.
I've bought. Here's the reason. Here's a not addict's brain about airplane bottles.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I've bought them to try new things.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like a sample.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's weird to me. Like, you go to Schnucks, and I hate to call out Schnucks. Sorry, Schnucks. You go to Schnucks, and they are there, like, in just a tub.
Right.
Here you go. Here's a tub of little bottles of booze.
So you remember
so weird.
Dirt Cheap?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's many of
There's
those
still one around.
Is there still one around? I'm sorry. Dirt Cheap. Well, I mean, they did it.
The last refuge of the persecuted smoker.
The wall. Do you remember that? Yeah. I forgot those commercials where
Fred.
His voice is just,
Fred, yeah. He's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on. He used to go on the Rizzuto show and read Freaks of the Week.
Yeah, Freak of the Week. He read the Freak of the Week. Yeah.
I mean, it's some nasty shit about
They've
like
got a wall.
Guys writing in Craigslist they want to be treated like a toilet.
Right.
Sick fucks. God bless. I don't mean to kink shame, but
They had a wall of airplane bottles. So the gas station that's by my house, it's one of those fast lanes, and I don't know if that's a St. Louis thing or St. Charles thing or whatever, but they same thing. Now they've got the little containers, and they've got every different one, and you can just grab, and it's like 10 for this, 12 for 99. 99 cents a piece. It's crazy. You make it easy.
What I think is kind of the thing that resonates here is you wanted to quit so bad. You would try anything to quit. And to your point about why we do this is there's a lot of people that will do it textbook wise, right? They'll go to treatment, they'll do residential, and then they'll go to meetings, and they still can't stop, and they want to give up on life they're hard on themselves. I'm a failure. I can't quit. And the AA is a way. It's not the only way. And that goes for any program. And I think there's a lot of programs out there that you can use what works for you, pieces of eat the fish, not the bones of different programs, which is why we're starting in Maplewood, because it's a option. One of our mission statements of this thing we're starting is that we are a touch point, not we are a way touch point in your recovery, not the touch point where you believe in all the both ands. Do whatever the fuck it takes to get clean and sober and stay clean and sober. And if that's having your wife that you're afraid to lose put a breathalyzer you every night before you get in bed, then fucking do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it fucking takes. And that's like I said, that's like putting your cards on the table and saying, this is it. I trust you. This guy pissed me off, but I'm not quitting on my recovery. I don't want to go back to that meeting. I want to try a way that will work for me. And you found out a way that will work for you. And now you got almost 4 years. Yeah. 4 years in this Christmas Eve.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to that meeting because I wanted to tell him how I've been almost 4 years sober. Yeah, I don't think that I got a bankruptcy disclosure from that. The company that does, I guess it's like a site consultants company that does all their aftercare stuff for Centerpoint. They filed bankruptcy or something, and they have to notify you or whatever if you if you owed them money at some point, which I did back then before I had to pay all those bills off. But I wanted to go back because I'm one of those guys that when somebody challenges me, I want to prove them wrong, and then I want to show them.
I can tell that. I can tell that that's a. I don't know what Enneagram that is, Jeff, but he get fired up by this shit. And
probably a 3.
Is that rebel?
I don't know. That's what Brittany is. That's what Miofsky is.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So, what are you?
A 4.
Wing 3.
The artist. Yeah.
You don't fucking. I see a little 3 in you.
Yeah.
You like to fucking.
I push buttons.
Yeah. Do you do this shit? The Enneagram? It's like there's 1 through what, 9?
Yeah. It's like a personality kind of assessment.
I like your sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I like your statement. Whatever it fucking takes. I think that's one of the things that kills me is some people aren't willing to do whatever it takes.
No, they're not.
And I had the same thing just happen to an employee that we tried to help that came back, and he had
same guy we talked about.
No, this is a new one. It's automotive. We tend to run across them, and it's just it's a way of life. And in my industry, it's drinking and drugs. And I never got into the drug side, but fentanyl is his thing, and man, that shit's fucked up, man.
It's one end game.
He came in and he was good forever, and then all of a sudden one day he came in, and I looked at him when I walked in, and I said, before he clocked in, I'm like, "You all right, man?" And I could just tell he damn near fell asleep trying to talk to me, and I knew it was up, and we tried to help him, man. And he's just he went to a center, and 3 weeks later he's calling us wanting a job back. I'm like, man, you're not sober after 3 weeks, man. You're not ready for this. You gotta put the time in that. And
yeah, we were talking last week. We had Taylor on, who is a musician and works in the restaurant industry. And a buddy of mine texted me today. He's like, I listened to the episode. He goes, next thing you know, this fucker's gonna want to be a lawyer, because he's like he wants to be in the he wants to do the hardest jobs where this alcoholism and shit just fucking runs rampant. So we got to add automotive to the danger zone. And although, I mean, I've seen there was a guy early on that was a highly certified trained mechanic, and I got him connected after treatment. I mean, and they're not easy to find. Like it's a really high skilled position. Yeah. He just couldn't stay out of his own way. But I good to know that industry is, and it makes sense. That alcoholism can be I
think it's retail in general. I mean, from restaurants to, retail businesses they're tough, man. You work all the hours, you don't get all the extra time. Sure. And you're there early, you're there late. It's just, it's a lot for some people, and it's a coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. I mean, drugs, alcohol, it's all coping.
So after the 8 months, when you guys decided you could back off a little bit, you felt comfortable enough to lower the threshold, if you will, of your own piss tests.
Right.
What is there anything that you're doing since then, as far as you by default are helping others that are struggling, and they come to you for advice, and I mean that's a part of an active recovery program. It's probably the biggest part of mine.
Trying to help people. I mean that's
I really like and I'm not saying that to give myself a hand job here. I'm saying that it's part of when I am in here or meeting with people that are not yet or approaching or at rock bottom, I am extra grateful for my recovery, my sobriety. I'm here to help them, obviously, also, but it is not it's definitely, it's not self-serving, but it is a little bit. I mean, It's part of my recovery, and because I feel so fucking lucky. If I just sit on the couch and say, hey, I'm one of the lucky ones that don't do anything about it, then fuck me.
I think the biggest thing I did before all that was I just poured everything I had into my job, because I just knew that I wanted to show my coworkers and my family that I could step up and really do some big things, and I did that. I mean, I just quickly went from a guy that was productive to like a guy like, holy fuck, man, look what you can do when you're always clear headed. Not that I was drunk at work, but I mean, let's be honest. How many, and I've heard it on your podcast episodes before. How many times do you really, if you're drinking that much at night, you're not waking up sober. You're not driving to work sober. So when I say I didn't like to drink and drive, the reality of it was I was probably drunk enough to go to jail every morning when I drove to work, right?
Yeah.
But it was not intentionally like getting drunk to go to work, right?
You're on that hamster wheel of the alcohol in your system, and controlling your brain. And you're chasing it. You'd said it earlier, and I mean that you don't remember maybe when it was fun to it was needed. I mean, and that's when your body comes dependent, and that's what a lot of that. It's about not getting sick anymore.
Right.
We're not using to have fun and enjoy this. Not any of your, and I'm sure you got amazing, fun drinking stories. We all do, but the stories you're sharing, that when you started realizing it, none of it sounded fucking joyful. It's hiding a drink to cope somewhere. And
but even the story, even the good stories of drinking, they're never really good. You think they're funny. You think you were being funny when you're drunk, but I mean, throwing up on the bar on your 27th birthday in front of other people, it might be funny when everybody wants to fucking make fun of you the next day, but it wasn't funny when it happened. Mm-hmm. You know, the bartender, I'm sure, was not excited when I did that because I, drank too much tequila. That shit's not funny. It's just the worst. And I mean, at the 8-month point, we had pulled off the breathalyzer thing, and I put a lot of my time and effort into work and my relationship. And it's funny because my cousin did this, and he told me what kept him busy because meetings weren't helping him and stuff was he started fixing his house and rehabbing his house.
Interesting.
And then he started doing like plumbing and stuff on his house, and then he opened his own plumbing company, and now he's got 30, I don't even know anymore. He's got a ton of vans. It's called Keeley's Plumbing in Villa Park in Illinois. And he's got a great company for himself. He's built a great thing, and he loves it. I mean, he loves what he does. And that's what his mission was and kept him sober all these years.
Sure.
And I think for me, it was just pouring it into work and my relationships. And I started working on fixing up my house and doing all those things. And now I'm at the point where I'm selling my house and I'm getting good money for it. And I feel like accomplished in that. I never really put a lot of thought. I kind of started to just put the alcohol out of my memory, and I may be different than some people because I don't go to meetings. I don't talk about it anymore, other than just like everybody knows that I'm sober, all my friends and family, and know what I've gone through. But I don't think about it. I don't miss it. I don't miss drinking. I don't miss what came from it. I love everything that I'm doing, and I know the only way that I'm going to be able to continue to be better in my life is without alcohol or drugs or any of that stuff, right? So that's what keeps me
grateful. Going. Yeah. It's definitely something to be grateful for. And you did, you went through it. You didn't going to treatment twice is, into a place that you don't, even here, we don't want you to come back.
Yeah.
We want you to graduate and move on and do outpatient. We're here to support your recovery, your active recovery, but we don't want to see you back in treatment. So it's, we love to be a great place, but we, don't want it to be so comfortable. Somebody's like, I can't wait to go back to that fucking holiday. And so I say that about the place I went. It was no IRC, but it did its job. I never, ever wanted to go back there and go through that again and start my days over again. And, it was enough. It wasn't the only tool, but it was
one of them.
One of them for sure. Just like the counter that we talked about, the naltrexone, I'm sure was helpful. I when I decided to get off it, I didn't notice a huge difference. But I'm not going to say it didn't work.
It's almost like the placebo effect. I never really understood if it worked or not. I don't know if I took it long enough to.
Well, it's an anti-craving, and then if you were to use on it, you don't get the euphoria from alcohol or opioids. But to your point, could have been a placebo effect that I took that every day. Somebody told me that's done this before, that's gotten sober to take it before, and I started listening. I went from a non-listening, knew it all, to becoming a listener, and for me, that was fucking huge because, it was a full surrender, which your way was I'm fully surrendering by the stake. I'm putting the stakes on the line with my relationship, my job to test me,
right,
and. There's I do know a lot of people that get those breathalyzers on their car because of the law puts them there. I've known that. That's where the fucker, if they blow into it, it goes to state and they're in deep shit.
Yeah.
After a bunch of DUIs for sure.
Absolutely.
But, man, that's good. I appreciate you coming out. I think you do more than you are saying, or that you maybe even know in this. Whether it's just the people in your industry that you're helping and as a resource for, that's part of this. Coming on here, sharing this story is part of giving back, and people will hear it, connect with it, because everybody's story is unique. but everybody can find something in common. Some people don't find anything in common with my story. Some people don't find anything in common with Taylor's. Some people may find a lot in common with yours. And it shows them that they can do it if they are willing to do, like you said, whatever the fuck it takes to get sober, man. And not to be a fear factor on here, but it's serious. The liver's a resilient organ and it can fucking rebound. But it's like once it gets to a certain point, it's no good. And that way to die is fucking horrific. Known a couple people that have died either of cirrhosis or liver disease, that type of failure. It's fucking nasty.
I think once you get to that point too, it's like the guy that I'm seeing on Facebook, and I hope all is well for him. As you even get to that point where maybe you're not fully gone, but man, the fucking ride that you got to take every week or every other week to the hospital to get this medicine or that medicine or this transfusion or whatever it is that they're doing as to why he's there. I'm just guessing from what he went through with the alcohol. That's fucking rough, man. I wouldn't want to do it. I've dealt with this hospital stuff all year this year with my wife's stuff with her, her and we talked about it when we got coffee. I mean, you want to talk about the test? I feel like it was a test put in front of me. Not just, I mean, obviously it was an accident, mistake, whatever. But the medical stuff, man, it's not fun, man. Being in the hospital every day. We were there for, I think the first stint was like 12 days straight at downtown at Big Barnes, trying to get everything figured out with like what happened and what they could do to fix it. And
I think I remember you telling me too that it hit you that, her medical shit was not self-induced like what we were doing to ourselves.
No.
And I remember you were saying, that was something that you thought about.
It made it tough, man. It made me really think about like, man, this is one of those tests. Like, this is something that some people like me that are alcoholics would go through this and they would start drinking again because, I couldn't stay the night at the hospital. They don't let visitors really stay in that wing that she was at. So I could come during visiting hours. The nurses were pretty cool because her case was so severe that with this gallbladder deal that they let me stay like a little bit later. I could stay till like 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes. And then I'm driving from Kings Highway all the way back out to St. Charles where I was living. So, it's a 40-minute drive. I got a dog that I'm trying to watch. There's a lot of stuff, man. It was a lot of stress. And there was definitely a lot of emotional nights for me trying to stay strong for my wife because she stayed strong for me and my thing. So like for her to go through that, and it sucked because like you said, it wasn't induced. It was a surgery gone wrong. Yeah. And now she was getting it fixed, right? And the repair was such a crazy thing. Like every nurse that was in there was like, what are you even doing here? You're way too young to be here. And it was a rough ride for that, but we made it through. And that's that. I feel like now personally for me, and like my last little comment or whatever that I'll make on it is, I think it's proven to me that I'm strong enough that there's nothing else that can really push me back to drinking, because if I can make it through that and deal with that, then I know I'm good, man. There's nothing that can come at me as long as I keep positive that I know that it's not the right thing.
When it gets really hard, I just peel it all the way down to that. Your sobriety, my sobriety there's nobody that can take it.
Yeah.
We can give it away, but nobody can fucking take it from us.
That's right.
And I think that reminder, and you got to say it to yourself daily, say it to yourself, those people that are listening, it's a powerful reminder that it's yours, and protect it and don't give it away for fucking anything. Nobody can take it from you.
That's right.
And don't let it, and it's gotten me through some really hard shit, big time. I was going to say that in my faith in Jesus, but I don't want to sound super fucking Christian freak show for you guys. Fuck me running.
You're gonna bring that back on me.
It used to be me.
I'm gonna get your ass, Jeffy.
Hey, look, I got a gathering coffee mug.
We need to. I like those mugs. Ashley has two of them. Yeah. Now they have the coffee cup.
Oh,
but I think are gonna do to go, because those are good.
Yeah.
So for the Connect cards at the Underground, we're calling it. You're
gonna get you're gonna get the Yetis.
Ooh. We'll see. Well, we gotta build the congregation. So I'll see you there on Wednesday nights, 6:00.
There you go.
It's for people that don't want to go to church. It's not all fucking.
So is my living room.
Yeah, true.
I was gonna say, I got a big couch in front of a big TV that says.
Sorry, Chris.
It's all right, fuckers.
We'll be there in spirit.
There you go. Sean, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Absolutely.
Do you want to, if it's up to you and you don't have to, but feel free to plug the business here. I think you could help a lot of people that need help in that regard of the industry. But,
oh yeah, no, I work for CarX Tire and Auto, so family owned and operated.
Yeah.
We got 20 locations in St. Louis, 10 locations in the
they're all over
Chicagoland area. Well, CarX is a franchise. It's a chain, so we have a chain.
Oh, okay.
We have a franchise of them.
So you guys have 30.
Our company has 30 locations, 29.
Wow. Anything in the Illinois side?
Yeah, Fairview Heights, Granite City.
Okay.
So we got one right there on 159, right down the street from. Well, man, they're changing everything over there. It's kind of at the end of town because
I know where you're. Yeah.
So it's right at the end of the strip there. Then we've got one in Granite City off right over by the Tri-City.
And you guys do safety emissions?
Yeah, everything.
All that shit. Cool.
Do it all. Engines, transmissions.
I need to start coming to you guys.
Yeah, we'll take care of you.
So, CarX, ask for Sean.
I had to drive past one of our major competitors on the way here.
Who's that?
Dobbs right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
It's funny. I used to hear that all the time when I was a kid, man. Going through school because everybody knew that.
That
my dad was
the CarX man.
Oh yeah, he had the license plate that said CarX man at one point when I was
nice.
Kid. But yeah, no, I.
And your Pat's not in that industry.
No, he it's not to make fun of my brother or anything, but he didn't get the mechanical trade.
Sure.
Or trait. I'm the only one that did. Both my brothers, they're not much mechanics or anything. I was big in cars. I actually went to Florida for boats, and because I wanted to do something different, than my dad. Right. And 2008 happened, and stock market crashed, and everybody stopped fixing their fucking boats.
Yeah, I bet.
So I had no job, so I moved up to Lincoln, Illinois.
Yeah,
and I was working for a guy building race boats for him
in Lincoln, Illinois.
So he, the guy that he started a company called Oil Filter Recycling, OFR Trucking, and the shootout at the Lake of the Ozarks that happens every year. So you remember Miss Budweiser, the old race boat back in the day?
Oh, I probably just remember the
the calendar.
That boat, the calendar. Then so he bought that boat,
Miss July,
and he called it the Recycler. And now it's known as American Ethanol. It's won the Top Dog race or Top Dog, whatever, multiple years in a row. And I helped work on the engines for that boat.
Okay.
Back in the day there, and it was a hobby. So I left that, went back into cars, and I started, working for family.
Mm-hmm.
Got to prove yourself. So I started off as general service, just oil changes, taking out trash, and sweeping the floors. And I've been February. This upcoming February will be 17 years I've been back.
Nice. Awesome.
And I've worked myself into an operations manager at this point. And when this all started, I was, just in management. So when I got sober is when I was able to really push forward and start showing that I was capable of doing.
God, it's so much better.
Stuff. And honestly, yeah. And, I was a little bit nervous about coming on here, to be honest with you, just because I've never told most of this story to other than just friends, so it's a big difference for me to kind of throw.
Well, it's we always say one person, and we get feedback on every episode. They hit people differently, man, and it's really it's why we keep doing it.
That's why I told myself I had to do it. When my brother brought this opportunity to me, and I was like, man, I don't know what's anybody really going to want to hear my story for, right? And then we talked, and you're like, man, if it's just one person. My coworker, I think he's 2 years sober now after me and him had a good conversation about his, not that he didn't.
See what I mean? You were kind of like, I'm not really doing anything in recovery. You fucking are.
Well, so there's a couple people that I've worked with that I've tried to help. And the only person that's really done anything is I call my coworker. He's actually our vice president. He's a good friend of mine, and he didn't have a drinking problem, but he didn't like, how he got when he drank, right? And it just kind of like, one of those guys that, just whatever. But he was awesome, man. He's like, man, I really like what you've done with everything, and he made the change.
Let me tell you something. You're gonna help a lot of people or share wisdom with a lot of people that you don't think that doesn't work for them. Not everybody can beat this disease.
Right.
But I will say, a lot of people that you may not know that it's helping. It's planting seeds. I mean, there were seeds planted in me long before I went to rehab, and it all helped. And knowing that somebody can do it, you coming on this podcast for the small people, the group of people that listen, they know that there's somebody out there that can do it like you, that they may identify with it. And it's absolutely worth it. And it, I tell people this, and here at IRC when I do the churchy shit on Saturday nights, you're only going to get, I think, in life. I'll use God for example. You're only going to get a glimpse into the effect you're making, but know that there's all like that. You just can't imagine the amount when you're doing capital G good work and spreading hope and showing people that this is possible. You're not going to see like the fruits of all that. Maybe not in this life. You'll see glimpses. You'll meet somebody around one day that'll say, "Man, something you said to me really changed the trajectory." And it may be something you said just off the cuff, but by putting yourself out there and having a conversation, it may not have been like some pearl of wisdom that you even thought would change the trajectory of somebody else. You'll get those moments. But I always say when you get those, fucking hit that with a multiplier, because I think that it's we say that on this show, like we help one person. I truly believe it's more than that. I think there's people out there that in 5 years from now, because this happened in 2020, there's people that come to us today that said, I listened to an episode you did the first time and I went to treatment. They never reported back. Like they don't need to just go get help. Or I called someone that day and I started thinking about being an addict and maybe I need to change. And so this shit, it plants seeds. So keep it up, man. And don't shy away from it. I think there's a lot of courage in your story, a lot of fight. I hear that, fight back. Maybe you are a 4 or 3 or whatever the fuck he is on the Enneagram, but I still don't even know whatever it takes. About. I know.
I think anybody that thinks they might be an addict, because you really got to start to think about why you're thinking that. Because that's one thing I always knew, but I never admitted it, right? And that's the first step is admitting it. So I never wanted to admit it, and when I finally did, that's when the steps started. I never really, like we talked, we never did the 12-step program intentionally, but I think just through life, I've kind of gone through a lot of those things, and I think it's awesome. Yeah,
and something you said earlier about going to the doctor, but I mean, if you're lying to your doctor, you're lying to yourself. These are privileged conversations. So if you are lying to yourself about things, or you're saying like looking up the half-life of naltrexone, and you have to step back and say, why, to your point, why am I, there's a problem. This is an issue. If I'm lying to myself, then nobody can affect nobody else but myself. And that's that denial when you're in, and you try to keep yourself there because it's a warm blanket of, I don't have to change, because change is hard. Change is scary. But it's a lot of times, man, it's life-saving. Fuck yeah.
It's necessary.
Thanks for coming out, brother.
Awesome.
We'll have to get together soon, and
you're gonna show me how to take 6 strokes off my golf.
Yeah, just quit playing the last hole, baby. We got to play. We talk about it too much. Sorry it's been so busy. We'll get out one weekend.
It's all good. I play every weekend usually. Try to.
God bless. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll talk next week. Let us pray.